Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's session of GSD Daily. This is session number 24. We're going to talk about email campaigns. It was funny. My son is watching TV right out there, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Working." No, what are you doing? I'm like, "I'm going to talk to my computer." Like it's what I do every morning at 10 o'clock. I talk to my computer. So let's see. All right. So this session is email marketing campaigns, sequencing and automation that converts. So this is email marketing week. And basically what we've been doing, shut my door there, because Sebastian decides he wants to bang stuff around. But so basically this week has been entirely about email marketing. So on Monday, we talked about email, basically, working with email lists, the software for email lists, CRMs, marketing automation, like the whole deal. And then we talked about list building and lead magnets on Tuesday. And then water is right there. Yeah. You can take it out there. Okay. So, and then Wednesday, we talked about email copy. And today we're going to talk about sequencing. So email copy and sequencing kind of go hand in hand. Email copy is really about sending emails that get opens, that get clicks, the whole deal. So when you send an email, you want that email to do something. You want somebody, the reader, to do something. Click over to a blog post, watch a video, buy something, sign up for a webinar, like the whole deal. Now, an email marketing campaign, when you think about it, is a collection of emails. So oftentimes one email isn't enough to get somebody to do the thing you want them to do. So you need to send 2 emails or 3 emails or 4 emails. And right now, there is more people opening and reading email than there was a month ago. Open rates. We send a lot of email inside of our CRM, and then also for clients, on behalf of clients and for ourselves. And we see, we've seen 7, 8, 9%, better open rate across the board with all of our clients' campaigns and with all of our campaigns. So the nice thing about right now is people are engaging with email more, which means email is more effective. It also means that, business owners who have an email list are able to pivot faster. They're able to pivot better in launching new products and launching new services, because they don't, they have distribution. They have an email list. So today, what we're going to talk about, we're going to go through email marketing campaigns, and I have a number of blog posts that I wrote quite a while ago. So we're going to kind of dig through those a little bit. And then I also have a little presentation. Like, I have created a lot of content around email marketing over the years because of our CRM, because of the software that we've generated and created. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through a short little presentation that talks about the buyer journey and how people end up moving through your sequences, how they move through your campaigns, and how all of that should be automated. And then we're going to go through some examples of these email marketing campaigns, and we're going to go that way. So let me switch. I'm going to share a different screen. We're going to go here. All right. And there we go. So, all right. So email marketing campaigns, sequencing and automation that converts. So in terms of email marketing, so by automating email marketing campaigns, what you're doing is you're influencing the buyer life cycle. So now it isn't necessarily just somebody who comes to your website and they either buy or they don't. Now what we're doing is we're able to send email based on their visit sometimes, using email retargeting. You can do even some retargeting through postcards, so you have that additional kind of automated marketing campaign, and then of course you have retargeting ads. But what you're doing is you're reaching out to all the people who leave and trying to influence them into your products and services. They also, and email marketing campaigns also let you engage with the buyer after they opt in. So I've said this many, many, many times. A prospect is never, ever, ever, ever more engaged than the second they opt in, the second after they opt in. So they opt in on your landing page, and then they flip over to that confirmation page. Whatever you put there as an offer is going to double, in terms of conversion, because people are just super engaged the second after they opt in for something. They're waiting, they're expecting, something to be there for them to consume. It might be the PDF that they opted in, but ideally what you want to do is you want to email that PDF to their email inbox and use that opportunity to move them into a webinar, to move them into an offer, to do some sort of a low-end kind of tripwire thing, but the person, the prospect, is never more engaged than they are in that second. Email marketing also lets you bond more effectively with your prospects. And this part is super, super important because people don't. So a good conversion rate on a sales page, 2%, 3%, depending, so that means 98%, 97% of the people who hit your website, hit your sales pages, they're not going to buy from you the first time out. So if you can get them onto an email list and then market to them, over time, then they're going to know, like, and trust you. You're going to be able to bond with them. And email marketing campaigns let you do that because you're sending them blog posts, you're sending them videos, you're sending them live streams, you're sending them all of the material, that you're creating to grow your business, grow your brand, like the whole thing. But you're also using it to bond with them. And they're growing in that relationship as they go. So email marketing campaigns help in that manner, and it can all be automated, so it can trigger based on if they open this email, they get this email, so it's really nice in terms of just giving them exactly what they want. The fourth point is you can promote the right product at the right time. So last week we talked about survey segmentation. Last Friday, in our live stream, we talked about survey segmentation, putting people in buckets and then sending them email. So this is kind of a continuation of that, because the email that goes out based on how they answer a survey is going to be predetermined by the things they're interested in. So if somebody comes through your marketing funnel and they are interested in let's say HIIT workouts. Well, so they're interested in HIIT workouts, and then for the next 2 weeks, you can send them HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training type of workouts, and that they're going to be into it because they told you they were into it. And then all of that can be automated in the email marketing campaign. So it ends up being a super nice way of just automating, processes. You can also work with abandonments. So the cart abandonment on an order form is typically like 70-80%, which means you can reclaim 70 or 80. You can reclaim up to 70 or 80% of your sales or of your possible sales by putting email marketing campaigns in place. And then you can also re-engage like dead leads. So people who haven't opened an email in 30 days or 60 days or whatever, typically you can send them through like a re-engagement campaign and then pull them back into your process. So in understanding the buyer life cycle, there's kind of five different buckets before they actually buy something from you. The first is they're brand new to you. They're brand new. They're just becoming aware of you. They just signed up for your lead magnet. They're just learning about you. The second kind of stage is they're on your email list, but they're still not really sure what you do, or whether your stuff is worthwhile or not. So they kind of know that what the hell you're talking about, but they're not in it yet. So they haven't decided. They're loosely interested. Then the third step is they've opened a few emails. They kind of feel like they're getting to know you. They like you. They trust you. And now they just kind of need to see some offers. They need to see what you're working on. Is it a product? Is it a service? Whatever. Fourth stage, they've watched the sales video and they've left without buying for whatever reason. Now they're getting warm, so they're approaching a deal. Then the fifth stage is they've clicked an add to cart button and they didn't complete the order. So they hit the button, they went to the order form, they didn't have their credit, whatever, and they didn't end up processing the order. They either buy or they don't. And really, this is where most kind of marketers and business owners leave it. They kind of front load everything, so that everything is based around this inbound marketing piece. But then once it gets to like the rubber meets the road, like this person is on the fence and they're just waiting for you or somebody to push them over the edge and buy something. And then they're going to be a hyper buyer with you. This is really where most marketers and business owners just kind of sit back and let it play out. They assume that if somebody didn't buy, it's because they didn't want the product. They didn't want the service. When they aren't right for the offer, they didn't want the product bad enough to pull out their wallet, or the sales copy didn't quite do enough to sell it, or they need to add bonuses, or, they need to redesign the page or whatever. When what really happened was the new prospect doesn't know you or your company well enough to place an order. They haven't bonded with you that well yet. Or they didn't have time to go through the whole sales video or to try to understand the offer. This is kind of where the price and complexity thing comes in play. The higher the price, the higher complexity, the more the different things you need to do in order to work through the sales funnel. A low ticket, low complexity offer is going to be great for a sales video. A upper ticket or higher ticket, higher complexity offer is going to need a sales call, like an automated webinar sales call. So, it's all part of this automation piece. So, or they didn't have their credit card on them. I mean, maybe the credit card was like, at home or at the office or whatever, or they wanted to think about it or sleep on it and see if it really was a good idea. I mean, there's lots of reasons why people don't buy. Now it's like, my son just walked in here 3 times. So like, we started this thing, and it's like, okay, so it's always jarring, so if you're just taken out of your element now, especially with the pandemic, it's like, everybody's just kind of in a funk, so there's some of that at play. People are just distracted, notification comes in, or they feel like they need to be checking the news or whatever, so there's a lot of external factors that come into the purchase or non-purchase decision that you have no control over, so now let's kind of put this thinking into action. So we talked about buyer stages, talked about buyer, pieces of the buyer journey, and as they relate to email and how you can kind of correspond with some email marketing campaigns for it. Now, after you get the new lead, you want to deliver that lead magnet through email. Then you want to present an offer of some kind, and you want to pay attention to what they're doing. So we use a piece of software called Inspectlet for this, INSPECTLET.com. You can read it on the screen. But basically it records the screen of somebody who is going through your funnel. Another one is Hotjar, great piece of software. And if they escalate, they go through the buying process and then they go through your upsells, you want to track them through the process. If they buy or sign up, then you've accomplished your mission. You have a new buyer in your mix. Now, here's kind of the steps as they play out. Now, this is an old, we don't really do a lot with image ads anymore. But this is, kind of how we end up putting stuff like this together. So step 1 is you want to build trust. And how we build trust is we don't go directly. Usually we have a couple campaigns that are running like really cheap cold traffic leads right now. But typically you want to send them to a blog post or an advertorial or video or some piece of content that is going to give value without necessarily detracting from value. And I think next week we're going to do a full week on Facebook ads for this. So I can actually we can put this together, learn how to do Facebook videos, like the whole deal. So step 1 is you want to build trust, and this is just an image ad with just an ad. And then that image ad goes to this blog post. Notice we have the same images. So same images in both scenarios. They go to this page, and then there's a blog post. And the blog post has subheadlines. There's a couple calls to action in there with links, and what else? Banner on the upper right-hand side, more posts. This is supposed to be an engagement piece, something they can just read. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to take any action. They can back up, go back to Facebook and whatever. The point is that our campaigns have already started because now they're on our retargeting list. So now, whether it's with ad roll, whether it's in Facebook, whatever, we've placed the pixel, we're able to get back in front of them with our second ad, which is this, when my There it is. So step 2 in this process is we want to get the lead. So they know who we are. They know what the offer is. They don't know what the offer is, but they know in general what we do. So, they've seen a blog post, and basically they've seen a blog post, and now we're trying to get them back to an opt-in form, a lead magnet form, so that they can give us their email address. And that's what this is doing. So this is free workshop, or it can be a free report or lead magnet or whatever. All the stuff we talked about on Tuesday. Takes them to a landing page. This landing page, you've seen it before because it is one of our best converting landing page styles. So we got text on the left, image, button on the right, 2-step opt-in. They enter their email address here, and then we've got their email. So at this point, we can start, we can start bonding and promoting products to them. So we can start moving them through some of our processes. So we send them the lead magnet fulfillment email, which is, hey, thanks so much for downloading this. Here's the link to your thing. And then, pay attention to your email over the next couple of days. We got a bunch of other cool shit happening, blah, 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 and then that's it. So goal number 1 is to get them the lead magnet, the thing they just downloaded. We can also pre-frame the rest of what we need them to do, which is, there's a webinar here, there's a sales video here, there's a product, there's, blog post, but you don't want to jump in too deep too early, or else you're going to scare them off. It's like, you can't walk up to a girl and propose to her and then hope that she's going to say yes. It's just not going to work that way. So, but you want to warm them up. You know what I mean? So my wife's probably watching this laughing right now because it took us 13 years to get married. It's fucking funny. All right. So step number 3 is we want to present an offer. So after they opt in, they get their lead magnet, and then step 3 is we present an offer. So the offer itself, we got a headline, we got the video, and then an add to cart button below it. So Chelsea just laughed. This is my wife. So haha, right? LOL. So we want to present an offer in step number 3. Now here, basically what we're doing is, whether it's a sales video, whether it is a full motion sales video, we want to get that first purchase. So in this particular case, it's a free 14-day trial for a piece of software. In other cases, it's a free plus shipping offer for a book, or a $37 digital product, or a $4.95 digital product, or whatever. But this is all, kind of low end stuff. And what we're doing is we're trying to pick off, sales at this point, pick off buyers, and once that happens, then we can march them through an upsell path. And if they don't buy this, which most people don't, 96% of people don't buy this offer, then what we want to do is we want to send them emails to bring them back here. That's where the email marketing campaigns come in. That's where the automation comes in and the sequencing comes in, because we want to bring them back to this point, have them click the add to cart button, and then move them into the next space, So at this point, they either continue signing up or they don't. They're at the sales page and they either hit the button or they don't. If they don't, they get the product promo emails. If they do, they hit the add to cart and then they leave, they get the shopping cart abandonment sequence, and they're removed from the product emails. So basically, send them product emails until they add to cart. Then once they add to cart, we remove them from the promo emails, and then we send them a shopping cart abandonment sequence. So we're stepping them up through the email marketing campaigns to get them into what we need them to at the time we need them to do it. So once they get the shopping cart abandonment sequences and they pull the trigger, they are a new member, then we remove them from all prospect lists unless there's something else that they're going to be ascending to, unless there's, something that they're going to move to. And you can also mail them upsell offers, so like for this campaign, there's some services on the backside. So, some of those services and stuff, those can play out, so really that's the idea. That's what email marketing campaigns are really meant to move a prospect through the buyer journey, understanding that they are going to drop off at some point, so that's what the email marketing campaigns are 100% all about. So let's talk about some jumping off points here. So for folks who didn't buy, you want to make sure that you send them a download link. You want to make sure that they've got a way to get back to the sales page. Like confirmation pages a lot of times are hidden. So what we'll do is we'll end up kind of lopping off the front side of that sales video, which is, hey, thanks so much for downloading the report. We'll take the first 30, 45 seconds off, and then it just becomes a standalone sales page that you can throw anywhere in your site. So that works out nice. You want to make sure to include language on bonuses or discounts if you're going to offer those. And then you really want to promote that first offer for 3 or 4 days. Don't assume that one email is going to be enough. Most people don't open their first email, like that's accurate actually. Like 55, 60% of people will open that first lead magnet download email. The other 40% won't, even though they just opted in for it. They just won't. Sometimes it's 70%, but so you literally you want to engage them as quickly as possible on that page. I mean, full pattern interrupt style, like you know what I mean. So but after that, you promote the offer for 3 or 4 days. If they pull the trigger, awesome, they are in the rest of your sequence. If they don't, send them bonding emails and eventually try to pull them back into that. So that's how you would end up working email marketing campaigns, from that front. So if we have any questions on this presentation stuff, we're going to kick through some blog posts and kind of talk about how it all plays out from a sequence standpoint too. All right, are we good? All right. Cool. So I'm going to stop sharing that presentation. That presentation has literally been waiting in the wings for 4 years. I wrote that and performed that a really long time ago. I can't even remember. I can't believe I remembered having it. All right. So this page we're streaming live on right now. So I'm not going to hit play, but what we're going, if for all you content marketing junkies out there, basically what I did was I found this old blog post that was already optimized for the keyword phrase email marketing campaigns. And I dropped my new GSD daily on this page. I'm going to grab the transcript and then I'm going to paste it all the way down here at the bottom of this content, which this is broke, whatever. Like I said, it's old, which is going to add about 4,500 words with the keyword phrase email marketing campaigns all through it. So we're going to be ranking like crazy for this keyword phrase to this old blog post. So yeah, it's good stuff. All right. So we talked about what makes up an email marketing campaign, setting up a successful drip campaign. We kind of covered Monday, but just as a quick, recap, what you want to do is you want to use a piece of software like Convert or Drip or Active Campaign or Hours, which is Access. You want to, basically drip these emails out based on what somebody does on your website. So what they buy, what they opt in for, and all of those are triggered, so if somebody opts in for a lead magnet, like what we talked about, if they opt in for a lead magnet, then they end up, then they're able to receive the emails, getting them their lead magnet, and then moving through the product promotional sequence. So drip campaign phases we talked about, webinar email marketing campaigns and email marketing logic. Talked a little bit about logic. So the logic really is if they, we're always ascending them in the sequence, and it's done by rules. So if you have a prospect, like how we do it in an active campaign is if they go to this URL, then we check to make sure, like if they go to the shopping cart abandonment page, that URL, then what we do is we turn on in the shopping cart abandonment sequence and we turn off all product promo sequences. So that's the logic that I've referred to here. Or if they go through and they hit a blog post with a certain phrase in the URL, then they're added into that bucket. So like for us, how we use it is if you go to a blog post that has the phrase email in it, then you're put into an email bucket. So your marketing messages are going to be weighted more heavily towards email stuff. Whereas if it goes funnel, it's going to be weighted more heavily to funnel stuff. So that's how the logic and the triggers end up working out. Some powerful email sequences you can't afford not to have. So we talked about these. There's a lot of different ways to kind of cut up email. You have your email marketing sequences, which is basically anything that's pre-populated. So we always plan for the first 30 days of every client, so somebody comes in and we plan the first 30 days worth of client, inbound marketing material. So that usually involves 3 to 4 emails on promoting a webinar, 6 emails on promoting a webinar replay, 3 to 4 emails promoting sales videos, so they step through those email sequences as they go. So that is all pre-populated, and that is all written, from scratch and custom. Then we have our so they're called RSS email sequences. Basically, your blog can be set up. Every blog has an RSS feed unless you actively turn it off. So the RSS feed, every time you publish a blog post, the RSS feed publishes, it submits, and then the email marketing or the email marketing software will actually take that and send an email out with all of those blog posts in it. So it's a way of automating your blog posts, the ones that are being sent, which is nice and it works, but you have to be able to format it well in order for it to work. And oftentimes you're going to find that, not all blog posts are relevant to all people, so you might send one to one group and another one to another group. And that's where the bonding and the nurturing come into play. Then you have your regular broadcast. So that's every time I email these live streams out, it's a broadcast email because I have to create new graphics. I got to, create new links, and it's nothing I can pre-populate. So I email them as broadcast every morning. So I pick, the audience that those people are going to be mailed to. And then I write the email, hit send. It's mailed out as a broadcast. It's a one-shot deal. I don't automate it. I will automate the replays of these and throw them into sequences because those links never change. So the broadcast is for all the one-off stuff. Transactional emails are anything transactional in nature. So things like order confirmations is a transactional email. Things like password reset emails. They're usually things you have no control over unless you're actually building software. So member onboarding emails when somebody signs up for a membership. So there's lots of these kind of little transactional emails that it's just important to note that they're important because they usually get only fire when something good happens. I guess password changes aren't really good or bad, but so there's that kind of email too that you're going to need to kind of think about and personalize in your marketing mix. And then there's some email sequences that are important to just think about and engage with, and when you're putting together your product promo sequences, there's a couple in here that I just wanted to highlight. So the first is a product sales sequence. Whenever you're promoting a product, whether it's a physical product or a digital product, it should usually have 3 or 4 emails, and they are sent to go out email 1 is day 1, email 2 is day 2, and then the last day send 2 emails, and always come up with a reason to email them, whether it's a flash sale or a discount or whatever. So inside our Axis CRM, there is a product sales sequence that you can plug into, answer a couple questions, and it will create the emails for you. So if you go to, so I think I might need the HTTPS. I'm just throwing it over here in the comments. So that's the where the software is, but the email copy app will actually write copy for you. The ascension sequence is when somebody buys your front end offer and they don't buy your upsells. So when they don't buy your upsells, you want to bring them back to purchase your upsells, and the ascension sequence is going to help you do that. The shopping cart abandonment emails we already talked about, and there is email copy inside Access for these. But basically, if they hit the shopping cart but don't buy within 30 minutes, then they get 3 emails, and these are patterned after Amazon. So first email goes out 30 minutes after they don't buy. Second email is 24 hours after that. Third email is 24 hours after that. And what we're trying to do is to get them to take action on something urgently, you're missing out on a discount, that kind of thing. And then your flash sequence, your flash sale sequence, we use all the time for a lot of our clients. And basically, if somebody doesn't buy something the first time out, somebody doesn't buy your digital course the first time out, then you send them a 3 email or 4 email sequence. that says, hey, this is discounted 80%, buy it in the next 48 hours. And then tomorrow you send them an email, this is discounted 80%, buy it in the next 24 hours. And then tonight, or buy it by 12 o'clock tonight or whatever. So what we're doing is a timed flash sale countdown, and there's lots of little urgency kind of buying triggers in there that we capitalize on for the flash sale. What this does is it spikes your front end sales so that you have more people running through the upsell process. It works out tremendously well. Then we have webinar replay emails, which tend to be some of our best performing emails. So the webinar replay emails, it's a 6 email sequence. The first 2 emails promote the webinar replay. The third email promotes the webinar replay and also the offer. And then email 4, 5, and 6, which are sent out on the last 2 days of the promotion, promote the offer and only the offer. So the replay is no more. And then the webinar promotion emails, it's a 4 email sequence that gets somebody onto the webinar. So you can read about all these. The link for this is in the chat box, or you can just go sign up for Access at triggers.app and jump in, and you can get all these sequences for you and your business right now. So that is all I got for you today. I went a little bit over. We're at 10:31. These are informally, kind of at 30 minutes. But if you have any questions at all, send me a Facebook message or jump into the DFY Funnels group. Ask in there. I want to start getting some conversation going in there. And if you have anything at all, just let me know. All right. Thanks. If you have questions for a future episode, go to doneforyou.com/GSD. And then if you want us to go through and put together a custom funnel for you, then book an action plan call, doneforyou.com/start. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Thanks.